All right, what is happening, everybody? I am Rob M Studios. Well, I am not Rob M Studios. I am the host of Rob M Studios, Rob M, and we are going to talk about Nationals 2026 that happened last month in Wilmore, Kentucky. Yeah, so we got to drive on down to Wilmore in the state of Kentucky last month for 4 days of fun with Redemption trading card game. We played on 3 different days. The very first day, day zero, if you want to call it that, was Wednesday, and we had a night of worship, of message, and a chance to chat with the elders and ask them some questions about the game. So if you were there, it was a great time. If not, there is a recording of it on Redemption with Jaden. I will work on putting a link to that in the description of the video. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun. I think it really was just wonderful to get a chance to talk to everybody as they were arriving, fellowship together, just in a different way. Usually, we get down to the nitty gritty and just start playing Thursday morning. People do get together beforehand here and there, but I think it was just nice for everyone to be like, okay, yes, you can come to the church Wednesday, get registered, pick up your fun name badges that John Hendricks made. Shout out to the Threshing Floor podcast. If you don't know about that, I will put a link about that as well, because that is a great podcast to listen to about the development of the game really over the last 3 years, I want to say. Maybe more. If it's more than that, John, I'm sorry. So yeah, a lot of other people have done some post-nationals reviews and their thoughts and all that. So shout out to all the different players and other channels that have done that. And I've been on kind of a big hiatus from the YouTube scene, and this is my attempt at a comeback. So if you're watching and you don't know what Redemption is, it is the second longest running trading card game after Magic the Gathering. I believe some other games came out after Magic before Redemption came out, but it is still in play. It's still in use. There's still a community playing, and sets are still being made. So therefore, it is currently the second longest running game after Magic. Yeah, Joe, I just want to talk about my experience there. I had a lot of fun. My son and I drove down Wednesday. We got up at like 4 in the morning, made the drive down. We're about 10 hours from there. So made a couple stops. We got there, had some dinner, arrived at the venue, got to, chat with people I hadn't seen in a long time. So that was nice. And it was really just a good time to be with everybody. So one of the other things that happened that night was the fantasy draft. Here it could be getting bigger for next year, so that could be cool. I'd love to draft people. I don't really play at Nationals much other than sealed deck, so if I could put my name in the hat to be a drafter, that would be very cool. So I'd have a lot of fun. I'd kind of have to learn about it because I'm never been into football or any of those things, so I'm not too big on what drafting is all about, but it seemed pretty straightforward when I was watching all the live updates, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, another shout out to John for that one, I guess. So yeah, the fantasy draft, everybody got drafted, and I think it would be cool to see some more people get drafted. So yeah, 2027, let's make that happen, right? Then, let's see, Thursday morning, right? Some of us stayed at the church, so thank you to Wilmore Church for housing us. Much appreciated. Got up the next day, got ready. One of the neat things for me personally was I have judged in the past. I helped with Type A back in 2024. Jay, thank you for that. That was... and John early. Guess I got to thank you as well as the MC, but it was just a blessing to get to be a part of that, help the kids out by, just kind of running that category that year, and that was a lot of fun. So I kind of got called up to the big leagues this year, which was, really cool, right? I was talking to Gabe Wednesday night. He was playing a game against I want to say it was James Chamber of Angels, unless that was the morning. I don't remember. But he was chatting with us afterwards, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not playing on Thursday. I'm not playing on Friday. Just kind of helping out." Baboony Tim, check out his YouTube channel. I'll leave a link as well. Baboony Tim and Redemption with Jaden had the 2 live streams going, so I just offered to help with that. I said, "Guys, I'm not really playing. I know you both are, so I'll do my best to help with that." As we go through getting the names in the system, keeping the cameras adjusted as needed. It was really cool this year, I think. If you guys haven't checked out the live stream from Jaden, he had lapel mics for each of the players. They put them on, and I think the sound came through a lot better. I know some of the tough things about past nationals was not being able to hear the players, their thought process, what cards they were playing, because it can be really hard to see what's going on with all the cards on the table, right? So I think that was a vast improvement with that. So Jaden, another shout out to you for that. So, but yeah, anyway, back to Gabe, who is one of the elders of the game, does a great job with a lot of the card design and stuff. I mentioned to him, "Yeah, I'm just not playing," and he said, "Yeah, I think we need another judge, so would you be interested?" And I said, "I would love to help out for sure." I've hosted regionals at various times and often host state tournaments, so feel pretty comfortable with that. And in the morning, they were announcing the judges, and Rob M was called. So it was actually, a lot different from than just doing the Type A for the most part in the prior years. And shout out to all the elders that do that year in and year out, because it is much needed and much appreciated. So yeah, I got to do that alongside Joe. He was the head judge for day 1. And then we also had Mr. Miyota and Gabe. So that was fun to get to do. Type 2 was played that day, as well as Booster Draft. So my main focus was Booster Draft. Starting out, we just did a lot of pack collection, the paper product, and tossing out the little paper slips, or not paper slips, plastic slips, and getting that kept organized as players were trying to draft their cards. So that was really neat. And then, a lot of hustling around to get the scorecards collected, get those turned in to Chris Fashman, who was the MC for day 1. Good job, Chris. I know that was, fun. He was using Baboony Tim's app for that. So, yeah, it was really neat to see that utilized. I wanted to start using that for my tournaments, and I know I've said this many times, Tim, but I think I'm actually going to start using it. In the Northeast, we just love that paper, but we're trying to get on the train of the Redemption app. So that has been a great tool. If you don't know what that is, it's Redemption CCG.app. Great tool for deck building, for gameplay. I'd like to start getting to play some games with some people, so hit me up, DM me if you are on the Discord, and I will try to start getting some games recorded. You want to be on Rob M Studios, hit me up. Let's do it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and like I said, I just appreciate being able to help out with that. It was a lot of fun, and a very long day being on the feet. It's like, what is harder, sitting on your butt in those chairs for 8-10 hours a day, or literally standing there waiting for a hand to be raised? Hey, I got a question, right? So yeah, it was fun. Appreciate it. Definitely a good time. Friday, we went to Chipotle Thursday, and I think a bunch of people just kind of ended up there together, which was neat. Got to hang out with Jaden and a few other guys. Goodness, who else was there? The host, Brian, was there. So Brian, shout out to you. Great job, great venue. Glad to see that, you took the step aside to just kind of really keep the tournament running smoothly. Brian is a very competitive player, a very good player. Booster Jones is, won a lot of booster and sealed and done very well in other categories. And it was nice to know that the tournament was in good hands by somebody who was very focused on that, making sure that the team that had the food prepared, making sure that was running smoothly. I know he had guys from his school that were helping out with that. Roman, uh, props to you, all the hard work you put into that. I think you took one of the days off from playing to help with that a lot. Steven, it's good to see you again. Thank you for your help with that as well. Obviously, all the other people that were involved, I don't know who you guys were, but thank you for, getting all that yummy food set out and prepared and all that stuff. So that was really nice to have. Being it with the tournament being in Wilmore, there was a Subway and a few other restaurants there. Got my son Chinese food one day. But in order to go anywhere else, Chipotle I think was like 15 minutes from there. So being able to hot dogs, hamburgers, and then Chick-fil-A on Saturday was, just a great thing to have. So thank you for that. All right, so yeah, on Friday we had Type 1 2-player. I think we had like 70 some odd players, and we played like +2 or +3 rounds. So we played 10 rounds of Redemption. I took a break from playing that. I did not want to play 10 rounds of Redemption because some of these guys are just so darn good, and those large Type 1 decks really seem to have dominated this year. So I just spent my hours typing names in on Redemption with Jaden and Babooniton's channel. So it was a blessing to see some people who I hadn't seen in many years. Mark Underwood, who really helped me when I first started hosting the game back many years ago, 15 plus years ago now, I want to say. Maybe even 16. I can't do math right now. It was great to see him, so thank you for your help back then. And really neat fact, I'm 99% sure of this, is the 2009 state tournament of Kentucky state tournament for Redemption was hosted at the Free Methodist Church there. So it was neat to, 17 years later, almost, 17 years later, a tournament came back to that location. So very, very cool, very cool. So yeah, we had a nice long day of that. Dinner time, I went out with Robin Dermo and George, so it was great time with those guys. We went to Firehouse. I lived vicariously through them. They had the beef and cheddar briskets, subs. Oh my goodness, if you haven't had Firehouse, go get yourself a beef brisket, the cheddar beef brisket sandwich from Firehouse Subs. It is amazing. So apologies to their bank accounts if they've already gone back there, because it's not necessarily cheap, but boy is it really freaking good subs. So that was a great time. So thanks for hanging out with us that day, guys. Saturday, I finally sat down and played some Redemption. Yeah! So, sealed deck. I am a sealed deck player. I have placed in the past. At some point, I might do a video. Have I peaked with my Redemption career? We will see. So, we played 8 rounds of sealed deck. I've played it a few times this year at Northeast Regionals, New York States. But aside from that, I haven't really played this year. Been a very busy year for me. As you can see, I really haven't done any videos. Haven't had the time to. So, like I said, we played 8 rounds. I got the deck with David, which is the deck I wanted, with the green and purple heroes and the Egyptians. So I did not want to trade. I kept that. I got to play Caleb. Shout out to Caleb. I am so glad to get to reconnect with you. That was awesome. Caleb and I played on Untapped like 5 years ago, I want to say, when that Redemption came out on that. And it's like you could play it on your phone or you could play it on the computer. And we got to play a few times, and finally getting to meet you in person and play and reconnect. And you know the rest. I won't share that with the whole Redemption community, but excited to see that you're going to get some events going in Lexington. So very cool to get to see you again, and God bless you, be with you, and praying that group grows there. So we got paired up round one to build the decks together. So he had the white and clay deck with the Philistines, and like I said, I had the other deck. So I know I pulled a couple of good cards. I'm not going to really go into too much detail on that because my brain is, fried from even thinking about all the different rounds of play there. So I think we tied that game, right? So we had a tie game. Or did I win in... No, I had a timeout win. That's right. I had a timeout win. I probably should have pulled this up beforehand so I could look at it. Go on the Redemption CCG app. You can see how I did. But yeah, it was just fun to get to sit down and play Redemption. I chose to keep my pillow with myself, so I was not having a sore bottom after so many hours of playing Redemption. I know I had... I did pretty well the first half of the tournament, I would say, and by round 6, I was at the 6th position, with the potential to do well. Unfortunately, I feel like I get certain players that become like my Achilles heels in these certain categories, and I played Joe Roberts back at Northeast Regionals, and he clobbered me, and Joe, we may have played sealed deck before that. I can't remember, but it was like fresh in my mind, and I was like, oh man, I'm playing Joe, and I know if I can win this game, I have a chance. And unfortunately, I had the most terrible draw to start the game, and sealed deck can be more dependent on that than type 1, in my opinion anyway, and it just didn't go my way. Joe won, and I proceeded to lose, I think, 2 out of the next 3 games. I think I lost the next 2 games or whatever. So I think I lost the last 3 games. I could be wrong. There might have been a win in there. I can't really remember. But I ended up in like 16th place or something like that, which isn't terrible, But it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. I hope everyone else out there enjoyed it as well. It was the last set of players to be playing. Apparently, my opponent and I, we got down to the wire, and I knew I had lost at that point, so no worries, but props to him. Good job. Sean, I think it was from, maybe I say the wrong name, but from Arkansas. Apologies if that was not your name, but it was a pleasure to get to play you and all the other players I got to play. Subway Sam especially. Like, I hadn't met you before, and you seem like a really cool guy, and I hope to see you again in the near future. So that was great. And anybody else that I played with, sorry, I'm not going to mention all the names, but it was a pleasure to get to play everyone. So, yeah, ended up in like 16th or whatever place it was. Top 20, but I'll take it, Then the closing ceremony, yeah, it was just a really good time. I had a great time, great venue. I think having a space with a big gymnasium is fantastic. Having those divider walls, be able to divide the space up between the gaming tables, and then having space for the eating and the hanging out. I think that went pretty well. That was wonderful. Being able to stay there, sleep at night, all 3 nights was fantastic. So appreciate that. Would love to find a place to be able to do that for the future. So yeah, we just had a great time. Drove half of the way home that night, and then got up the next day and made it the rest of the way home. Had a good time. So yeah, that was Nationals 2026 in Wilmore, Kentucky. Before I go, I will show you some of the cards. I do have a set of the national promos in my possession currently. So for playing, and I do want to show the promos that John made too, but so these are the promos for playing. So any day that you played, you got one of these. This is the Ruth the Redeemer promo. Negate evil characters. If alone, you may choose a human to block. Cannot be negated. So that's a really good card. I think we got a couple copies of that. So anytime myself or my son played, we got that. The special promo is Philosophy. So this is the the funny thing about that, it's a white and silver or white and gray enhancement, right? But it looks kind of silver in here. The third place promo is Warrior Overtaken, and I know the year before it was the Philistine one, but or no, this is the Philistine one. The other one was the Egyptian one. Losing my mind. So pretty cool promo there. It's hard to get the best lighting on this, but we got it in the sleeves to keep them safe. So there we go. And then second place, I know some people love it, some people hate it. We have the Forsaken Lost Soul, Pablo Picasso art. So yeah, I think it looks great as a foil card. Some people don't like Pablo's work, but hey, I think it looks really cool. I think it was a cool choice, so I'm not complaining. And then last but not least is the Manger Son of God promo. It's a Luke from Luke, so it's a Nativity Son of God card, and I think it looks great. So yeah, those are the Nats promo cards for first, second, and third for participating and for the special promo. So those are the promo cards. I will also show really quick the cards that my son and I got. So this is his card there. He played Type 2 and Type 1. So, yep, there's that. And then here is my card. It matches my play mat that I got out right now. So, looks like I just played on Saturday, as I said, right? So, pretty cool. We had purple. I don't know my colors apparently. Purple and white was the Northeast region. Territory class, I forget what that stood. Oh, for staying in the church. So if you were a territory class hero, it meant that you stayed overnight at the church. So yeah, pretty neat. John did a great job on those. So yeah, I just want to thank everyone for watching. I've been your host, Rob M, here on Rob M Studios, and hoping to get some more tournaments going in the future here. So if I see you there, that's great. God bless you all. If I got to see you at the tournament, didn't mention you on here, sorry. But it was great to see everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And please hit the like button. Please subscribe. I believe the more people that subscribe, the greater the reach we can make for Redemption. I know I do put some other games on here, but most of my content is Redemption. So thanks again for watching, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.